are, so wan with care, find we a time for frightened peace to pant, and breathe short-winded accents of new broils to be commenced in strands afar remote. No more. The thirsty entrance of this soil shall daub her lips in her own children's blood. No more shall trenching war channel her fields, nor bruise her flowerets with the armed hooves of hostile paces. Those opposite eyes, which, like the meteors of a troubled heaven, of one nature, of one substance bred, did lately meet in the intestine shock and furious close of civil butchery, shall now, in mutual well-beseeming ranks, march all one way, and be no more opposed against acquaintance, kindred, and allies. Therefore, friends, as far as to the sepulchre of Christ, whose soldier and under whose cross we are impressed and engaged to fight, forthwith the power of English shall we levy, whose arms were molded in their mother's wombs to chase these pagans in those fields, o'er whose acres walked those blessed feet, which 1400 years ago were nailed for our advantage on the bitter cross. But this our purpose now is 12 months old, and bootless 'tis to tell you we will go. Therefore, friends, we meet not now. Then let me hear from you, my gentle cousin Westmoreland, what yesternight our council did decree in forwarding this dear expedience.
My liege, this haste was hot in question, and many limits of the charge set down but yesternight, when all at forth there came a post from Wales, loaded with heavy news, whose worst was that the noble Mortimer, leading the men of Herefordshire to fight against the wild and irregular Glendower, by the rude hands of that Welshman taken, 1,000 of his people butchered, upon whose dead corpse there was such misuse, such beastly, shameless transformation by those Welshmen done, as may not be without much shame be told or spoken of.
It seems the tidings of this broil break off our business for the Holy Land.
This matchless other did, my gracious lord. The more uneven and unwelcome news came from the north, and thus it did import. On Holy Rood Day, the gallant Hotspur there, young Harry Percy and brave Archibald, that ever valiant and approved Scot, at home did met, where they did spend a sad and bloody hour, as by discharge of their artillery in shape of likelihood the news was told. But he that brought them there in the very heat and pride of their contention did take horse, uncertain of the issue anyway.
Here is a dear, a true industrious friend, Sir Walter Blunt, new lighted from his horse, stained with each variation of soul betwixt Holman and this seat of ours, and he has brought us smooth and welcome news.
The Earl of Douglas is discomfited. 10,000 bold Scots, 22 knights, balked in their own blood, did myself see on London's plains. Of prisoners, Hotspur took Mordig, Earl of Fife, and eldest son to Beaton Douglas, and the Earl of Athol, of Murray, Angus, and Menteith.
And is this not an honorable spoil, a gallant prize? Cause is it not?
In faith it is, a conquest for a prince to boast of.
Yea, and there thou makest me sad. It makes me sin and envy that my lord of Northumberland should be the father to so blessed a son. A son who is the theme of honor's tongue, who is sweet fortune's minion and her pride, whilst I, by looking on the praise of him, see riot and dishonor stain the brow of my young Harry. Oh, that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged our children in cradle clothes where they lay, called mine Percy, his Plantagenet. Then I would have his Harry and he mine. But let him fill my thoughts. What think you, cuz, of this young Percy's pride? These prisoners, which in this adventure he hath surprised to his own use, he keeps. And said me word, I shall have none but Mordig, Earl of Fife.
This is his uncle's teaching. This is Worcester, malevolent to you in all respects, which makes him prune himself and bristle up the crest of youth against your dignity.
But I have sent for him to answer this. For this cause a while we must neglect our holy purpose to Jerusalem. Cousin, on Wednesday next our council we will hold at Windsor, so inform the lords. But come yourself and speak to us again, for much is to be said and to be done, than out of anger can be uttered.
I will, my liege.
with drinking of old sack, sleeping on benches, after supper, and muttoning the afternoon, that thou hast forgotten to demand, and which thou shouldst truly know. What the devil hast thou to do with the time of day? And as hours work up to sack, and minutes capons, and clocks the tongue of bawds, and dials the signs of leaping houses, and fair sun himself a hot wench and flame-colored taciturn. I see no reason why thou shouldst be superfluous to demand the time of day.
Indeed, you come near me now, Hal. For we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus, he that wandering knight so fair. I prithee, sweet wife, and thou art king, as God save thy grace. Oh, majesty, I should say, for grace thou wilt have none.
What none?
Not by my troth, not so much as will serve to prologue to an egg and butter.
Well, how then? Come, roundly.
Marry, when thou art king, let not us that are squires of the night's body be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon. Being called men of good government, being governed as the sea is by our noble and chaste mistress the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, and it holds well too. For the fortune of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the tide, being governed as the sea is by the moon. As for proof now, a purse of gold, most resolutely snatched Monday night, most dissolutely spent Tuesday morning, got in with swearing, lay by, and spent with crying, bring in! Now it is low and ebb as the foot of the ladder, but by and by as high flow as the ridge of the gallows.
Indeed, you speak true, Hal. Is not my hostess of the tavern a sweet wench?
As the honey of highborn where old lad in the castle. Ugh! And is not a buff jerkin a most sweet robe of durance?
How now, mad wag, what are thy quips and thy quiddities? What a plague have I to do with a buff jerkin?
Why, what a pox have I to do with my hostess of the town?
Oh, thou hast called her to reckoning many a time and oft.
Did I ever call for thee to pay thy part?
Nay, I'll give thee thy due, thou hast paid all there.
Yea, and elsewhere, as far as my coin would stretch, and where it would not, I have used my credit.
Oh, and were it not here apparent that thou art heir apparent. How? Will there be gallows standing when thou art king? And resolution thus fubbed it as it is with the rusty curb of old Father Antic the law. Do not thou, when thou art king, hang a thief.
No, thou shalt.
Shall I? Oh, there, I'll be a brave child.
rare hangman.
Oh, Splud, that fits with my humor as well as with waiting in the court, I can tell you.
For obtaining of suits.
Yeah, for obtaining of suits whereof the hangman hath no lean wardrobe. Oh, I'm as melancholy as a gib cat or a lugged bear.
Or an old lion, or a lover's lute.
Yea, or the drood of a Lincolnshire backbite.
What sayest thou to a hare, or the melancholy of Moorditch?
Oh, they are those unsavory similes, and are indeed the most rascaliest, comparative, sweet hypocrites. But I really have. Trouble me no more with vanity. I would thou and I knew were a commodity of good name, good lot. An old lord of the council rated me in the street the other day about you, sir. But I regard him not, and yet he talks very wise. But I mark him not, and yet he talks very wise, and in the street too.
Oh, thou didst well. For wisdom cries out in the streets, and no man regards it.
Oh, thou hast damnable iteration, and art indeed able to corrupt a sense. Before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. But now, if I should speak true, I'm a little bit of the word of the wicked. I must lead this life over, and I do not all be damned, for never a king's son in Christendom.
Where shall we take a purse tomorrow, Jack?
Oh, zoons, where thou would let I'll make one.
I see a good amendment of life with thee, from praying to purse taking.
Aye, 'tis my vocation, Hal. 'Tis no sin for men to labor in this vocation. Point. Now we should know if Gasflesh said a match. If men were to be saved by merit, what all in hell were hot enough for him? This is the most omnipotent villain that ever cried stand to a true man.
Tomorrow, Ned.
Tomorrow, Hal.
What says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John, Sack and Sugar Jack? How agrees between the devil and thou about thy soul that thou soldest in Good Friday lost for Cold Captain's leg and common deer?
Sir John stands to his word. He will give the devil his bargain, for he never yet was a breaker of promise. He will give the devil his due.
Not thou damned for keeping thy word with the devil.
Else he had been down for cousining the devil.
But the lads, tomorrow morning, early at Gallison, the pilgrim's going to Canterbury with rich offerings, and Trin is going to London with fat presents. I have visits for you all, ye have courses for yourself. If you will go, I'll fill your purses full of crowns. If you will not, tarry at home and be hanged.
Hear ye, Edward. If I tarry at home and you go, I'll hang you for going.
You will, chops.
How? Will thou make one?
For who I rob, I a thief, not I by my faith.
Oh, why there's neither honesty, fellowship, nor manhood in thee, nor thou camest not of the blood royal, if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings.
Oh, well then, once in my days, I'll be a man.
Ah, that's well said.
Come what may, I'll tarry at home.
When thou art king, Hal, I'll be a traitor.
I care not.
Prithee, Sir John, leave the prince and I alone. I'll give him such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
God give thee the gift of persuasion, that the true prince may for recreation's sake befalls thee. Farewell, you shall find me in Eastcheap.
Farewell, latter spring. Farewell, all hallowed summer.
Farewell, Hal. Points.
Now, my good sweet honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Pato, Bardolph, and Gatto will rob these men that we have already waylaid. Yourself and I will not be there, and when they have the booty and you and I do not rob them, cut this head off from my shoulders.
How shall we part with them in setting forth?
Well, we'll set forth before or after them, appoint them at a place of meeting, wherein it is at our pleasure to fail, they will adventure upon the exploit themselves, which they shall no sooner have achieved, but will set upon them.
Yea, but 'tis like that. They will know us by our horses, by our habits, and by every other appointment to be ourselves.
But our horses they will not see, I'll tie them in the woods. Our business will change after we depart, and our suits of buckram and knots in mask our noted familiar garments.
Yea, but I fear they will be too hard for us.
Well, the two of them I know them to be as true-bred cowards as ever turned back. As for the third, If he fights longer than he sees reasons, I'll forswear arms. Virtue is jest will be in the incomprehensible lies of this same fat rogue which has ordered me for dinner. What? Wars or what? Blows or what? Extremities he endured. In this group lies a jest.
Well, I'll go with you. Provide us with all things necessary, and meet me tomorrow night in East Street, and there I'll sup. Farewell.
Go on, my lord.
I know you all, and will a while uphold the unyoked humor of your idleness. Yet herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at by breaking through the foul and ugliness of vapors that did seem to straddle him. All the year of playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work, when they seldom come, and wished for come. Nothing pleaseth but rare accidents. So in this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised them. How much better than my word I am, by how much shall I falsify men's hopes, and like bright metal in the sullen ground, my reformation, glittering, or my fault, shall show more goodly, attract more eyes in that which hath no foil to set it on. So offend to make offense a skill. Redeeming time, when men think least I will. Blood hath been too cold and temperate of late, unapt to stir these indignities, and you have found me, for accordingly you tread upon my patience. But I will from henceforth rather be myself, mighty and to be feared, than my condition, which hath been smooth as oil, soft as young down, and therefore lost that title of respect that the proud soul never pays but to the proud.
Our house, my sovereign liege, little deserves this scourge of greatness to be used on it. And that same greatness to which our own hands have hoped to make so portly.
My lord, Worcester, get thee gone. For I do see danger and disobedience in thine eye. Oh, sir, your presence is too bold and peremptory, and majesty might never endure the moody frontier of a servant brow. You have good leave to leave us. When we need your use and counsel, we will send for you. You were about to speak.
Aye, my good lord. Those prisoners in your highness' name demanded, which Harry Percy here at home had took, are not with such strength denied as is delivered to your majesty. Either envy, therefore, or misprison is guilty of this fault, and not my son.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom. His chin new reap showed like stubble land at harvest home. He was perfumed, like a milliner, and twixt his finger and his thumb, he held a pouched box, which ever and anon he gave his nose and took it away again. And still he smiled and talked. And as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly, to bring a slovenly and handsome corpse betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holiday and lady terms he questioned me, amongst the rest demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. I then, all smarting with my wounds being cold, to be so pestered with a popinjay, out of my grief and my impatience, answered him neglectingly I know not what he should or he should not, for he made me mad to see him shine so brisk and smell so sweet, and talk so like a waiting gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds, God save the mark, and telling me the sovereignest thing on earth was parmacetti for an inward bruise, and great pity so it was this villainous saltpeter should be digged out of the bowels of the harmless earth, which many a good tall fellow had destroyed so cowardly. And but for these vile guns, he himself would have been a soldier. This bald, unjointed chat, my liege, I answered indirectly as I said. And I beseech you, let not his report come current for accusation betwixt my love and your high majesty.
The circumstance consider, good my lord, whate'er Lord Harry Percy then had said, to such a person and in such a place, at such a time, with all the rest retold, may reasonably die, and ne'er rise to do him wrong or any way impeach what then he said, so he unsay it now.
Why, yet he doth deny his prisoners, but with proviso and exception that we, at our own charge, ransom straight his brother-in-law, foolish Mortimer, who, on my soul, hath betrayed the very lives that he led to fight against that great magician, damned Glendower, whose daughter, as we hear, that Mortimer hath lately married. Shall our coffers then be empty to redeem a traitor home? Shall we buy treason and endeavor fears when they have lost and forfeited themselves? No. On the barren mountain let him starve, for I shall never hold that man my friend whose tongue shall ask me for one penny cost to ransom home revolted Mortimer.
Revolted Mortimer! He never did fall off my sovereign liege, but by the chance of war. To prove that too needs no more but one tongue for all those wounds, those mouthed wounds, which valiantly he took, when on the gentle Severn sedgy bank, he did confound the best part of an hour in changing ornament with great Glendower. 3 times they breathed, and 3 times did they drink upon agreement of the swift Severn's flood, who then, affrighted with their bloody looks, ran fearfully among the trembling reeds and hid his crisp head in a hollow lake. Blood-stained with these valiant combatants. Never did bare and rotted policy color her working with such deadly wounds, nor never could the noble Mortimer receive so many, and all willingly. Then let not him be slandered with revolt.
Thou dost belie him, Percy. Thou dost belie him. He never did encounter with Glendower. He just as well had met the devil alone as Owen Glendower for an enemy. Art thou not ashamed? But henceforth, sirrah, let me not hear you speak of Mortimer. Send me your prisoners, or you will hear in such a kind from me as will displease you. My lord of Northumberland, we license your departure with your son. Send me your prisoners, or you will hear of it.
and shed my dear blood drop by drop in the dust. But I will lift the downtrodden Mortimer as high in the air as this unthankful king, as this ingrate and cankered Bolingbroke.
Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
Who struck this heat up after I was gone? He will, forsooth, have all my prisoners. And when I urged the ransom once again of my wife's brother, then his cheek looked pale, and on my face he turned an eye of death, trembling even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him. Was he not proclaimed by Richard that dead is the next of blood?
He was. I heard the proclamation. And then it was that the unhappy king, whose wrongs were not gone pardoned, had set forth upon his Irish expedition, from whence, intercepted, he returned to be deposed, shortly murdered,
For whose death we in the world's wide mouth live scandalized and foully spoken of. But soft, I pray you, did King Richard then proclaim my brother, Edmund Mortimer, heir to the crown?
I did myself hear it.
Nay, then I cannot blame his cousin king that wished him on the barren mountain star. But shall it be that you, that set the crown upon the head of this forgetful man, and for his sake, wear the detested blood of murderous subordination? Shall it be that men of your nobility and power did gauge them both in an unjust behalf, as both of you, God pardon, have done, to put down Richard, that sweet, lovely rose, and plant this thorn, this canker, Bolingbroke? And shall it in more shame be further spoken that you are fooled, discarded and shook off by him for whom these shames ye underwent? No, yet time serves where you may redeem your banished honors and restore yourselves into the good thoughts of the world again. Revenge the jeering and disdain contempt of this proud king, who studies day and night to answer all the debt he owes to you, even with the bloody payment of your debts. Therefore I say, peace! Cousin, say no more. And now, I will unclasp a secret book, and to your quick conceiving discontents, I'll read you matter deep and dangerous, as full of peril and adventurous spirit, as to o'erwalk a current roaring loud on the unsteadfast footing of a spirit. Let he fall in, good night, or sink or swim. Send danger from the east unto the west, so on across it from north to south, and let them grapple. Oh, the blood more stirs to rouse a lion than to start a hare.
Imagination of some great exploit drives him beyond the bounds of fiction.
By heaven! Methinks it were an easy leap to pluck bright honor from the pale-faced moon, or dive into the bottom of the deep, where fathom line could ne'er touch the ground, and pluck up drowned honor by the locks, so that he that doth redeem her thence might wear, without corrival, all her dignities. But out with this half-faced fellowship. He apprehends a world of figures here, but not the form of what he should attend. Good cousin, give me audience for a while. Cry you mercy. Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners, I'll keep them all. Nay, he shall have a Scot of them. If a Scot would save his soul, he shall not. I'll keep them by this hand. You start away and lend no ear unto my purposes. Those prisoners you shall keep. Nay, I will. He said he would not ransom Mortimer, forbade my tongue to speak of Mortimer. But I will find him when he lies asleep, and in his ear I'll holler, Mortimer! I shall have the starling taught to speak nothing but Mortimer, and give it him to keep his anger still in motion. Hear you, cousin, a word. All studies here I solemnly defy, save how to gall and pinch this Bolingbroke, and that same sword and buckler Prince of Wales. But I think that his father loves him not, and would be glad he met with some mischance. I would have him poisoned with a pot of ale.
Farewell, nephew. I'll speak to you when you are better tempered to attend.
Why, what a wasp-strung and impatient fool art thou to break into this woman's mood? Time thine ear to no tongue but thine own.
Why, look you. I am whipped and scourged with rods, nettled and stung with pismires when I hear of this vile politician Bolingbroke. In Richard's time. What do you call the place? The plague upon it! It is in Gloucester. It was where the madcap Duke, his uncle, kept. His Uncle York. It was where I first bowed my knee to this king of smiles, this Bolingbroke. So blood, when you and he came back from Ravensburg.
At Berkeley Castle.
You say true. Why, what a candy deal of courtesy this fawning greyhound then did proffer me. When his infant fortune came to age, and gentle Harry Percy's kind cousin, oh, the devil take such cousiners. God forgive me. Good uncle, tell your tale. I have done.
Nay, if you have not to it again, we will stay your leisure.
I have done in faith.
Then, once more to your Scottish prisoners. Deliver them up without their ransom straight, and make the Douglas son your only means for powers in Scotland, which for divers reasons which I shall send you written, shall happily be granted. You, my lord, your son in Scotland being thus employed, shall secretly into the bosom of that same noble prelate, well beloved, the Archbishop.
Of York, is it not?
True, who bears hard his brother's death at Bristol, the Lord Scroope. I speak not this in estimation of what I think might be, but what I know is ruminated, plotted, and set down, and only stays but to behold the face of that opinion that shall bring it on.
I smell it. Upon my life, it will do well.
All the games afoot thou still let slip.
I cannot prove but be a noble plot. And then the power of Scotland and of York to join with Mortimer. Ha!
And so they shall.
Fake, exceedingly well aimed.
And 'tis no little reason bids us speed to save our heads by raising of a head. Forbear ourselves as even as we can, the king will always think him in our debt, and we think ourselves unsatisfied till he hath found the time to pay us home. And see already how he doth begin to make us strangers to his looks of love.
He does. Does. We'll be revenged on him.
Farewell, nephew. No further go in this than I by letter shall direct your course. When time is ripe, which will be suddenly, I'll steal to Glendower and Lord Mortimer, where you, the Douglas, and our powers at once shall happily meet, to bear our fortunes in our own strong arms, which now we hold at much uncertainty.
Farewell, my brother. We shall thrive, I trust.
Uncle, the Jew! Oh, let the hours be short, till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport! Peas and beans be as dank here as a dog. That is the next way to give poor James the fox. This house is turned upside down since Robin Osborne died.
Poor fellow. He rejoiced since the price of oats. It was the death of him.
I think this be the most villainous house in all London Road for fleas. I'm sound like a tench.
Like a tench? By the mass, there is ne'er a king Christian could be better bit than I have been since the first cock.
Will they allow us ne'er a Jordan? And then we leak in your chimney and your chamber line beats fleece like a...
Lord! Come away and be hanged! Come away!
Got a gallon of beef and 2 raisins of ginger to be delivered as far as Charn Cross.
As buddy, the turkeys in my pannier are quite starved. Lord! Hast thou never an eye in thy head? Canst not hear? And 'twere ne'er a good deed as drink to break a pain on thee. I am a very villain. Lord! Hast thou no faith in the Rivaro, carriers?
What's a clock?
I think it be 2 o'clock.
I prithee, lend me thy lantern to see my gelding in the stable.
Nay, by God, stop. I know a trick with 2 of that in faith.
I pray thee, lend me thine.
Why, when, canst tell? Lend me thy lantern, quoth he. Mary, I'll see thee hanged first.
Dear rock carrier, what time do you need to come to London?
Time enough to go to bed with a candle, I warrant thee. Come along, neighbor bucks. We'll call up the gentlemen. They will along with company, for they have great charge.
What ho, Chamberlain!
At hand, quote the pig's purse.
That's even as fair as at-hand quote, the Chamberlain!
Thou layest the plot how?
Good morrow, Master Gadshill. It holds current what I told thee yesternight. There's a Franklin in the Wells of Kent hath brought 300 marks with him in gold. I heard him tell it to one of his company last night at supper. A kind of auditor, one that had brothers to charge too, God knows what.
Chamberlain!
They are up already, and they call for it to butter. They will away presently.
Sirrah, they need not will say Nicholas clerks, I'll give thee this neck.
No, I'll have none of it. I pray thee say that to the hangman, for I know thou worship St. Nicholas as truly as a man of false with me.
What talkest thou to me of the hangman? If I hang, I'll make a fat pair of gallows, for if I hang, old Sir John hangs with me, and thou knowest he is no starveling. Tut, there are Trojans that thou dream'st not of, the which for sport's sake are content to do the profession some grace. Now would, if matters should be looked into for their own credit's sake, make all whole. I am joined with no foot land rakers, no long staff sixpenny strikers, none of these mad mustachio purple-hued malt-worms, but with nobility and tranquility, burgomasters and great winners, such as can hold in, such as will strike sooner than speak, and speak sooner than drink, and drink sooner than pray. And yet zoons I lie, for they pray continuously to their saint, the Commonwealth. Or rather, not pray to her, but pray on her, for they ride up and down on her, and make her their boots.
The Commonwealth their boots. Will she hold out water and foul way?
She will, she will. Justice hath liquored her. We steal as in a castle cocksure. We have the receipt of Burnseat. We walk invisible.
Nay, for my faith, I think you are more beholden to the night than to Burnseat for your walking invisible.
Give me that hand. Thou shalt have a share in our purchase, as I am a true man.
Nay, rather let me have it, as you are a false thief.
Go to. Homo is a common name to all men. Bid the ostler bring my gelding out of the stable. Farewell, you muddy knave.
I have tied a post office as he frets like a gun bell.
Stand close.
Boys! Boys in behind!
He got his fat kidney rascal to brawl into some heat.
Where's Boyne's house?
Just walk down the hill. I'll go get him.
I am accursed to rob in that hate's company.
The rascal have taken my horse and tied him I know not where.
If I travel but 4 foot by the square further a foot, I shall break my wind. Well, I doubt not but to die a fair death for all this if I escape hanging for killing that rogue.
The rascal hath not given me medicines to make me love him. I'll be hanged.
Cannot be us. I have drunk medicines. Boys, help! Plague will find you both. Barda! Pedo! 8 yards of uneven ground is the same with me as 70 miles. And the stony-hearted villains know it well enough. A plague upon it when thieves cannot be true to one another. Give me my horse and be hanged! Give me my horse and be hanged!
Lie down. Lay down your close to the ground and listen if thou canst hear the tread of travelers.
Oh, blood, have you any levers to lift me up and didn't down? No! I'll not bear my flesh 1 foot farther, not for all the coin I father's exchequer. What a plague mean you to coat me thus?
Thou liest, thou art not colted, thou art uncolted.
I pity. Good Prince Hal, lead me to my horse.
Oh, what?
Good King Son.
Shall I be your ostler?
Go hang yourself in your own heir-apparent garters. I'll be taken. I'll turn informer. And I have no ballads and filthy tunes made on you all. Let a cup of sap be my poison. When a guest is so forward and a foot too, I hate it. Go I do against my will.
Tis a such I know his voice. What news? Casey, Casey, there's money the king's coming down the hill. 'Tis going to the king's exchequer.
Oh, you lie, you wrote it's going to King Saab.
There's enough to make us law to be hanged.
Sir, you four shall front them in the narrow lane, and Ned Poins and I will walk lower. If they escape upon your encounter, then they light on us. How many either?
Some 8 or 10.
What? A coward, Sir John Punch.
Indeed, I am not John of Gaunt, your grandfather, but yet no coward Hal.
Well, we leave that to the proof.
Stand fast, farewell. Cannot I strike him and I should be hanged? Happy man be his dog. Every man to his business. Come, neighbor. The boy will lead our horses down the hill. We'll walk foot a while and ease our legs.
Anyway, good Ned, Falstaff sweats to death and he lards the lean earth as he walks along. Were it not for laughing, I should pity you. How about a roll?
be contented to be there in respect to the love I bear your house. He could be contented. Why is he not then? In respect to the love he bears our house, he shows in this. He loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me see some work. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. That's certain. 'Tis dangerous to take a cold, to sleep, to drink. But I tell you, my lord fool, out of this nettle danger we pluck this flower of safety. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. The friends you have named uncertain. The time itself unsorted, and the whole plot too light for the counterpoise of so great an opposition. Say you so. Say you so. I say unto you, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. What a lack brain is this? By the Lord, our plot is as good plot as ever was laid, our friends true and constant. Good plot. Good friends, full of expectation. An excellent plot. Very good friends. What for a free-spirited rogue is this? My lord of York commends the plot in the general course of action. Zoons, and I were now by this rascal, I could brain him with his lady's fan. Is there not my father, my uncle, and myself, Lord Edmund Mortimer, my lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Is there not besides that Douglas? Have I not all their letters to meet me in arms by the 9th of the next month? And are not some of them set forward already? What a pagan rascal is this, an infidel! Ha! You shall see now. In very sincerity of fear and cold heart will he to the king and lay open all our proceedings. Oh, I could divine myself and go to buckets for moving such a dish of skim milk with so honorable an action. Hang him. Let him tell the king. We are prepared. I will set forward tonight. And now, Kate, I must leave you within these 2 hours.
My good lord, why are you thus alone? For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Tell me, sweet lord, what is it takes from thee thy stomach, thy pleasure, and thy golden sleep? Why dost thou bend thine eyes upon the earth and stop so often when thou sittest alone? Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks, and given my treasures and my rights of thee to think I musing and cursed melancholy? In thy faint slumbers I by thee have watched, and heard thee murmur tales of iron walls, speak terms of manege to the bounding steed, cry, courage to the field! And thou hast talked of sallies and retires, and trenches, tents, of palisados, frontiers, parapets, of basilics, of cannon, culverin, and of prisoners ransomed, and of soldiers slain, and all the currents of a heady fight. Thy spirit within thee hath been so at war, and thus hath so bestirred thee in thy sleep, that beads of sweat have stood upon thy brow like bubbles in a late disturbed stream. And in thy face strange motions have appeared, such as we see when men restrain their breath on some great sudden pest. What portents are these? Some heavy business hath my lord in hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not.
What ho! Gilliam's with the packet gone.
He is, my lord, an hour ago.
Did Butler bring those horses from the sheriff?
1 horse, my lord, he brought even now.
What horse? Roan. A crop ear, is it not?
It is, my lord.
That roan shall be my throne! Well, I will back him straight. Now, Esperance! Did Butler lead those horses to the park?
But hear you, my lord.
But say it so, my lady.
What is it carries your way?
Why? My horse, my love, my horse!
Out, you man-headed ape! A weasel hath not such a deal of spleen as you are taught. wait for you till I am sent to practice. But if you go...
So far afoot, I shall be weary, love.
Come, you paracrita. Answer me directly unto this question that I ask. In faith, I'll break thy little finger, Harry, and thou wilt not tell me all things true. Hey!
Love, I love thee not. I care not for thee, Kate. This is no world to play with mammoths and to tilt with lips. We must have bloody noses, cracked crowns, and pass them current too. God's me, my horse! What sayest thou, my lady?
What wouldst thou have with me? Do you not love me? Do you not indeed? Well, do not then. For since you love me not, I will not love myself. Do you not love me? Nay. Tell me if you speak in jest or no.
Come, Kate! Wilt thou see me ride? And when I am on horseback, I will swear I love thee infinitely, Kate. But hark you, Kate, I must not have you henceforth question me nor reason whereabout. Whither I must. And to conclude, this evening must I leave you. Gentle, Kate. I know you wives, and yet no farther wives than Harry Percy's wife. Constant you are, and yet a woman, and for secrecy no lady closer, for I know thou wilt not utter what thou dost not know. And so far will I trust thee. And
How so far?
not an inch further. But hark you, Kate. Whither I go, thither shall you go too. Today I will set forth. Tomorrow you.
Let us continue. It must, of course.
Of drawers, and may they call them with Christian names as Tom, Dick, and Francis. They take it already upon their salvation that, though I be but Prince of Wales, yet I am the King of Percy, and when I am King of all England, I shall command all the good lads in Eastcheap. To conclude, I am so good, a proficient in 1/4 of an hour, that I can drink with any tinker in his language during my life. But Ned, to sweeten which name of Ned, I give thee this pennyworth of sugar, clapped even now into my hand by an understinker, one that never spake other English in his life, other than 8 shillings and 6 pence, with the shrill addition, anon, sir, score a pint of bastard in the half moon, also. But Ned, to drive away the time till Falstaff come, I prithee, do thou stand in some by-room while I question my puny drawer to what end he gave me the sugar. And do thou never leave but calling, Francis! That his tale to be maybe nothing but, anon! Stir aside, I'll show thee a precedent. Francis! You're perfect! Francis!
Anon, sir! Come down into the palm garden, Ralph!
Francis. 5 years, and his mother...
An answer? 5 years. Buy a lady a long lease for the clicking of pewter. But Francis, darest thou be so valiant as to play a coward to thy indenture, and show it a fair pair of heels and run from it? My lord, always one upon all the books in England. How old art thou, Francis?
Oh, let me see. By Michaelmas next, I shall be...
Oh, Francis! Anon, madam. And nay, but hark you, Francis, for that sugar thou gavest me, 'twas a pennyworth, was not?
Oh, my lord, I would have been...
I will give thee for it £1,000. Ask me when thou wilt, and thou shalt have it.
Francis!
Manon? Anon, Francis! No, Francis. But Francis, tomorrow. Or indeed, Francis, a Thursday. Or Francis, when thou wilt. But Francis, my lord, wilt thou rob this leather jerkin, crystal button, knot pated, agate ring, puke stocking, smooth tongue, Spanish pouch?
My lord, sir, who do you mean?
Why then your brown bastard is your only drink? For look you here, Francis, your clean canvas doublet will sully. In Barbary, sir, cannot come to so much.
What, sir?
Francis! Away, you rogue, dost thou not hear them call?
Francis!
What?
Francis! I was still in here at such a calling. Look till I get put in. My lord, old Sir John, and half a dozen more at the door. Shall I let them in?
I'll leave them alone a while and then open the door. Boys!
Anon, sir!
Sirrah, Falstaff and the thieves are at the door. Shall we be merry?
As merry as crickets, my lad. But hark ye, what kind of match have you made with this jest of a drove? Come, what's the issue?
I am now of all humours that have shown themselves humours since the old days of Goodman Adam. What o'clock, Francis?
I'm sorry.
The dividend fellowship Fumo Woods and a parrot, and yet the son of a woman. His industry is upstairs and downstairs, his eloquence the parcel of the record. I am not yet of Percy's mind, that Hotspur of the north, he that kills me some 6 or 7 dozen Scots at breakfast, washes his hands and says to his wife, "Fie upon this quiet life, I want to work." Oh, my sweet Harry, says she, how many hast thou killed today? Give my road horse a drench, says he, and answers, some 14. An hour later, a trifle. I prithee, call in Falstaff. I'll play Percy, that damn broad shall play Dame Mortimer. Falstaff! Rivo, says the drunkard. Call in Red, call in Tallow.
Welcome, Jack.
Where hast thou been?
Plague of all cowards, the vengeance too. Marry them in before I leave this life long also nether stop. And make me put them to. I'll give me a cup of sap, boy. Is there no virtue extant?
Didst thou never see Titan kiss a dish of butter? Bishop of heart of Titan that melted in the sweet tail of the sun. If thou didst, then behold the compound.
You rogue! There's lime in this sack! Is there nothing but rubbery without the miller's man? Oh, yet a coward is worse than a cup of sack with lime. Go thy ways, old Jack. Die when thou wilt. If manhood, good manhood, be not forgot upon the face of the earth, and mine is shot in heaven. There is but 3 good men on the hands of England, and one of them is fat and grows old. God help the while. I would have a weaver. I could sing psalms or anything.
How now, Woolsack? What mutter you?
You, Prince of Wales, are you not a coward? And points there too. Answer me to that.
Zoons, ye fat horse, you call me a coward? I'll stab thee.
I call thee coward. I'll see thee damned, dare I call thee coward. give 1,000 pounds I could run as fast as thou canst. You are straight enough in the shoulders, you who cares not who sees your back. Call you that the backing of your friends? I'll plague upon such backing! Give me them that will face me! Give me a cup of sack! I'm a rogue of iron drunk today.
Oh, Philip, thy lips are scarce white since thou drunkest last.
Hell is the one for that. Plague of all cowards to that.
What's the matter, Jack?
What's the matter? We four have taken 1,000 pounds this day morning.
Where is it, Jack? Where is it?
Where is it? Taken from us, it is 100 upon four of us.
What? 100, man.
I'm a rogue if I were not have swords with a dozen of them these 2 hours together. I'm 8 times cut through the double. 4 through the hose, my buckler cut through and through my sword. Half like a hand sock, ite signum. Oh, no, do I never dealt better since I was a man? Let them speak. If they speak more or less than the truth, and they are villains and the sons of darkness.
Just speak, sirs. How was it?
We four set upon some dozen. 16 at least, my lord. And bound them.
No, they were not bound.
No, you rogue, they were bound. Every one of them. Or I am a Jew else, an Hebrew Jew.
As we were sharing, some 6 or 7 freshmen set upon us.
I then bought the others and then came in the rest.
What? Fought you with them all?
I know not what you call all, but if I fought not with 50 of them, I'm a bunch of rats. There are not 2 and 3 and 50 upon poor old Jack, whom I know too late, preacher.
Pray God you have not murdered some of them.
That's past break. I've peppered 2 of them. 2 rogues and buckler, I'm sure. 2 rogues I have paid. I tell thee what I have. If I tell thee lie, spit in my face. Call me whore. Thou knowest my award. Here I lay, and thus I bore my point. 4 rogues and buckler.
4. Thou saidst but 2 even now.
4, and I said 4.
He said 4.
Well, these 4 merely thirsted me. But I made me no more ado. Took off 7 of their points in my target.
7. And there were but 4 even now.
In Buckram?
4 in Buckram.
7, my details.
I prithee let him alone a while. We shall have more anon.
Does thou hear me out?
And mock thee too, Jack.
Oh, do so, for it is well worth listening to. These 9 in Buckram that I told you.
So 2 more already.
Their force being broken.
Down fell their hold.
Given foot and hand. But I follow thee close. And with a thought, 7 of the 11 are paid!
Monstrous. 11 buckra men thrown out of 2.
But, as the devil would have it, 3 misbegotten knaves in Kendall Green came at the back and let drive. For it was so dark how thou couldst not see thy hand.
These lies are like the father that begets them. Gross as a mountain, open, palpable. Why, thou clay-brained guts, thou naughty painted fool, thou whoreson, obscene, greasy dabblecat.
What? Art thou mad? Art thou mad? Is not the truth the truth?
Why, how couldst thou know these men in Kendall Green when it was so dark thou couldst not see thy hand? Come, tell us your reason, Jack. What sayest thou to this?
Come, your reason, Jack. Your reason.
What?
And I rep the strappado and all the ranks in the world. I would tell no man my reason on compulsion. If reasons were as plentiful as blackberries, I would give no man
of this sin, this sanguine coward, this bed presser, this horseback breaker, this huge hill of flesh.
You starveling. You elf skin. You dried meat salad. You bull's pizzle. You stockfish. No! Brought to utter what is like to hear. You tailor's yard. You shifter. You bouquetsa. You vile standing duck. Well then, breathe a while, and then to it again. And when thou hast tired thyself in base comparisons, hear me speak but this. We two saw you four set on two, and found them, and were masters of their wealth. Mark now how plain tale shall put you down.
Mark, Jack.
Then did we two set upon you four, and outpaced you from your prize, and have it, and can show it you here in the house. And Falstaff, you carried your guts away as nimbly, and roared for mercy, still red and roared, as ever I heard, bull calf. What a slave art thou to hang thy sword as thou hast done, and say 'twas in fight. What trick, what device, what starting hole canst thou now find to hide thee from this open and apparent shame?
Come, Jack. What trickery hast thou now?
By the Lord, lad, I knew ye as well as he that made me. Tell me, my master, was it for me to kill the errant prince? Should I turn upon the true prince? Thou knowest I'm as valiant as Hercules. But beware instinct. Instinct is a great matter. The lion will not touch the true prince. I was thou a coward upon instinct. I will get the better of myself and thee during my life. I for a valiant lion, thou for a dribbling prince. Oh, but how? I'm glad thou hast the money. Gallant lads, hearts of gold, all the towns of good fellowship, come to thee. What shall we be merry? Shall we have a play extempore?
In thy argument shall be thy running away.
No more of that, how thou lovest me.
Very well, old prince. How now, my lady and hostess?
There's a nobleman of the court at the door will speak with you. He says he comes from your father.
Oh, well, give him as much as will make him a royal man, and send him back again to my mother.
What manner of man is he?
An old man.
Oh, what doth gravity out of his bed at midnight? Shall I give him his answer?
Oh, prithee, do, Jack.
Faith, and I'll send him
Now, sirs, by a lady, you fought fair. So did you, Pedro, and so did you, Bardolph. You are lions too. You ran away upon instinct, and you will not touch the true prince. No, fine.
Think, I ran when I saw others run.
Tell me now, in earnest, how came Falstaff's sword so high?
Why, he hacked it with his dagger. He said he would swear truth out of England, but he would make you believe it was done in fight. He persuaded us to be the lies.
Yeah, to tickle our noses with spear grass to make them bleed, and then to slaughter our garments with it and swear it was the blood of true men.
I did that.
Did not this 7 years before. I blushed to hear this monstrous device.
Oh, villain, thou stolest a cup of sack 18 years ago, and ever since thou hast blushed extempore. Thou hadst fire and sword on thy side, and yet thou
those men about the matter?
There's villainous news abroad. It was Sir John Bracy, son of your father. You must have the court in the morning. Ah, that same mad fellow of the north, Percy. And he of Wales that made Lucifer cuckold and swore the devil his true liegeman upon the cross of a Welsh oak. What a play call you him?
Oh, in Glendower.
No, and the same. And his son-in-law, Mortimer, and old Northumberland, and Douglas, that sprightly Scot of Scots that runs a bill perpendicular.
He that rides up ahead at high speed with his pistol kills a sparrow flying.
You have hit him!
So did he never the sparrow.
Well, that rascal could meddle in him. He won't run.
Oh, why? What a rascal art thou then to praise him so for running?
A horseback you could. But a foot you will not push it for.
Yes, Jack, upon instinct.
I grant you upon instinct. Well, he is there in one morning, and 1,000 blue caps more. Worcester is stolen away tonight. Thy father's beard is turned white with the news. You might buy land now as cheap as stinking mackerel, I tell you.
But why then? It is like, if there come a hot June in this civil buffeting hole, we shall buy maidenheads as they buy hobnails by the hundreds.
Oh, by the Lord, lad, thou sayest true. It is like we shall have good trading that way. But how? Aren't thou not afraid? Could the world pick thee out 3 such enemies as that fiend Douglas, that spirit Percy, and that double Dower? Art thou not afeard? Doth not thy blood thrill at it?
Not a witty faith. I lack some of thy instinct.
Well, thou will be horribly chid tomorrow when thou comest before thy father. If thou love me, practice me in answer.
Do thou stand for my father and examine me upon the particulars of my life.
Shall I? Turn attention.
Thy state is taken for a joint stool, and thy golden scepter for a leaden dagger, and thy precious rich crown for a pitiful bald crown.
Now shall thou be moved! Give me some of sack, that I may make my eyes look red, that it may be thought I have wept. For I must speak in passion now, and I will do it in King Cambyses' vein.
Excellent sport of faith.
Weep not, sweet queen, for trickling tears are in vain.
Oh, the father, how he holds his countenance.
For God's sake, Lords, convey my trustful queen for tears who stop the fat days of her eyes.
Ah, it is just like one of the harlotry players as a nice.
Peace, good pint pot, peace, good tickle brain. Now, Harry. Here is my speech.
And here is my leg.
Harry, I not only marvel where thou spendest thy time, but how thou art accompanied. Below the chamomile, the mort is trodden on the faster it grows. Yet you, the mort is worn the sooner it wastes. That thou my son, I have partly thy mother's word, partly mine own opinion, but chiefly a villainous trick of thine eye and a foolish hanging of thine lip. If then thou be son to me, here lies the point. Why, being son to me, art thou so pointed at? Shall the Son of Heaven prove a mitcher and eat blackberries? Question not to be asked. Shall the Son of England prove a thief and take purses? All questions to be asked. There is a thing carried down of, it is known in our land by the name of pitcher. This pitcher, as ancient writers do report, doth defile. So does the company thou keepest.
Hey! Poor Harry, I speak not to you in drink, but in tears.
Not in pleasure, but in passion. Not in words only, but in woes also. And yet, there is a virtuous man whom I have often noted in that company. Yet I know not his name.
What manner of man, and it like your majesty?
Ah, a goodly portly man, a little corpulent, a cheerful look, a pleasing eye, a noble carriage, some 50 years, a bargaining climb to 80. Ah, and now I remember me his name. Falstaff. If that man should be lewdly given, he deceiveth me. Or if the tree may be known by the fruit, as the fruit is known by the tree, there is virtue in that Falstaff. Him keep with. The rest banish. Now tell me that naughty boys what hast up in this past month.
Dost thou speak like a king?
Do thou stand for me, and I'll play my part.
Thou dost have so gravely both in word and manner, hanging up by the nails for a rabbit's or for a poulter's hair.
Well, here I am set.
And here I stand, judge my master.
Now, Harry, whence come you?
My noble lord, from Eastcheap.
The complaints I hear of thee are grievous.
But my lord, they are false. They are glimmer a young prince in things.
Swearest thou, ungracious boy, henceforth, ne'er look on me. Thou art violently carried away from grace. There is a devil haunts thee in the likeness of an old fat man. What man is thy companion? Why dost thou converse with a trunk of yours? That bolting hutch of beastliness, that swollen parcel of dropsy, that huge bombard of sack, that stuffed clove bag of guts, that roasted Manningtree ox with a pudding in his bed, that reverend vice, that father ruffian, that grey iniquity, that vanity in years. Wherein is he good? But to carve a capon and eat it, wherein neat and cleanly but to taste sack and drink it, wherein cunning, but in craft, wherein crafty, but in villainy, wherein villainous, but in all things, wherein worthy, but in nothing.
Would your lord would take me with you? Whom means your grace?
That villainous, abominable misleader of you?
Falstaff!
That white-bearded Satan?
My lord, the man I know.
I know thou dost.
But to say I know more harm than myself, or to say more than I know. That he is old, his white hairs do witness it, the more the pity. But that he is saving your reverence. A whore master, that I utterly deny. If sack and sugar be a fault, then God help the wicked. To be old old host that I know is damned. If to be fat, to be hated, then Pharaoh's incarnate to be loved. No. My. Banish Pato. Banish Bardolph. Banish coins. But for sweet Jack Foster, true Jack Foster, kind Jack Foster, valiant Jack Foster, and being the more valiant as he is, old Jack Foster. Banish not him thy Harry's company! Banish not him thy Harry's company! Banish beloved Jack and banish all the world!
I do. I will.
My lord, the sheriff with the most monstrous botches at the door.
How he rolled it up and play out much to say after that false staff!
My lord the prince, what sayest thou, my lady?
There, Lord. The sheriff, all the watcher at the door. They've come to search the house. Shall I let them in?
See this how never called your piece of gold a counterfeit?
If thou deny the sheriff so, thou art a natural coward without instinct.
I deny your major, let the sheriff enter.
Go hide thee behind the arras. The rest down below. Now, my masters, for good face and a true conscience.
Both of which I have had, but their date is out, so I'll hide you.
Now, Master Sheriff, what's your will with me?
First pardon me, my lord. A hue and cry had followed certain men unto this house.
What men?
One of them is well known, my noble lord. A gross, fat man.
The man, I do assure you, is not here. For I myself at this time have employed him. Sheriff, I will engage my word to thee that I will, by tomorrow dinner time, send him to answer thee, or any man for anything he shall be charged withal. And so let me entreat you, leave the house.
I shall, my noble lord. 2 men have in this robbery lost 300 marks.
It may be so. If he have robbed these men, he shall be answerable. And so farewell.
Good night, my noble lord.
I think it is good morrow, is it not?
Indeed, my noble lord, I think it be 2 o'clock.
This oily rascal is known as well as Paul's. Go call him forth.
Falstaff! Falstaff! Falstaff!
Fast asleep behind the arras and snorting like all dogs.
Hark how hard he fetches breath.
Search his pockets. What hast thou found? Nothing but papers, my lord. Let's see what they be. Read them. Item, a cake, 2 shillings, 2 denarii. Item, sauce, 4 denarii. Item, sack, 2 gallons.
What's with that?
5 shillings, 8 denarii. Item, anchovies and sack after supper, 2 shillings, 6 denarii. Item, bread, oboes. Oh, monstrous. 1 halfpenny worth of bread to this intolerable meal of sack. But there is else, keep close, we'll read it at more advantage. We must all to the wars. Thy place shall be honorable. I shall procure this fat rogue in charge of foot, and I know his death will be in March of 12 score. Be with me betimes, so that tomorrow, Pater. Tomorrow, my lord.
10 minutes. And I'll just turn on some lights so you won't hurt yourself.
And Owen Glendower, will you sit down? And Uncle Wilson. A play upon it, I forgot the map.
No, here it is. Sit, Cousin Percy. Sit, good Cousin Hotspur. For by that name, as oft as Lancaster doth speak of you, his cheek looks pale. And with the rising sigh, he wisheth you in heaven.
And you in hell, as oft he hears Owen Glendower spoke.
I cannot blame him. At my nativity, the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes, of burning crescents. And at my birth, the frame and huge foundation of the earth shaped like a coward.
Why, so it would have done if your mother's cat had but kittened, though you yourself had never been born.
I say the earth did shake when I was born.
And I say the earth was not of my mind, if you suppose it fearing you it shook.
Heavens were all on fire, the earth did tremble.
Then the earth did shake to see the heavens on fire, and not in fear of your nativity.
Cousin, of many men I do not bear these crossings. Give me leave to tell you once again that at my birth, the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes. The goats ran from the mountains, and the herds were strangely clamorous to the frighted fields. These signs have marked me extraordinary, and all the courses of my life do show I am not in the role of common men. Where is he living? Clipped in with the sea that chides the banks of England, Scotland, Wales, who hath read to me or called me pupil, and bring him out that is but woman's son, can trace me in the tedious ways of art, or hold me pace in deep experiments.
I think there's no man speaks better Welsh. I'll consider.
Peace, Cousin Percy. You make him mad.
I can call spirits from the vasty deep.
Why, so can I. Or so can any man. But will it come when you do call for us?
Why, I can teach you, cousin, to command the devil.
And I can teach thee, cuz, to shame the devil by telling truth. Tell truth and shame the devil. If thou have power to raise him, bring him hither, and I'll be sworn I have power to shame him hence. Oh, while he live, tell truth and shame the devil.
Come, no more of this unprofitable chat.
3 times hath Henry Bolingbroke made head against my power. Thrice from the banks of Wye and Sandy Bottom Severn have I sent him bootless home and weather-beaten back.
Home without boots. Hand and foul weather to housescapes ye use in the devil's name.
Come, here is the map. Shall we divide our rights according to the threefold order ta'en?
The Archdeacon divided into 3 limits very equally. England, from Trent and Severn hitherto, is to my part assigned. Lowell westward, Wales, and all the fertile land within that bound. Only Glendower. And because to you the remnant northward lie not from Trent. Tomorrow you and I and my good Lord of Worcester shall set forth to meet your father and the Scottish power as is appointed us at Shrewsbury. My father Glendower is not ready yet, nor shall we need his help these 14 days. Within that space you may have gathered together your tenants, friends, and neighboring gentlemen.
A shorter time shall send me to you, lords, and in my conduct shall your ladies come, from whom you must now steal and take no leave, for there will be a world of watershed upon the parting of your wives and you from hence.
Methinks my loyalty north of Burton here in quantity equals not one of yours. See how this river comes me cranking in and cuts me a huge half moon, a monstrous cantalap. I'll have the current in this place dammed up, and then the smug and silver trench shall run in a new channel, fair and even. Shall not wind with such a rich intent to rob me of so deep a bottom here.
Not wind, it shall, it must. You see it doth.
Yea, but mark how he bears his course, and runs me up with like advantage on the other side, gelding the opposite continent as much as on the other side takes me.
Yea, but a little charge will trench him here, and on this north side win this cape of land, and then he runs straight and even.
I'll have it so. A little charge will do it.
I'll not have it altered.
Will not you?
No,
to the harp many an English ditty lovely well, and gave the tongue a helpful ornament, a virtue that was never seen in you.
Marry, and I am glad of it with all my heart. I'd rather be a kitten and cry mew than one of these same meter ballad mongers. I'd rather hear a brazen candlestick turn, or a dry wheel grate on the axle tree, and that would set my teeth nothing on edge, nothing so much as mincing poetry. Just like the forced gait of a shuffling nag.
Come, you shall have turn.
I do not care. I'll give thrice so much land to any well-deserving friend. But in the way of bargain, mark ye me, cattle on the ninth part of the hair. Are the indentures drawn? Shall we be gone?
The moon shines fair, you may away by night. I'll haste the writer, and withal break with your wives of our departure hence. I am afraid my daughter will run mad, so much she doteth on her Mortimer.
Fie, Cousin Percy, how you do cross my father.
I cannot choose. Sometimes he angers me with telling me of the moldwarp and the ant, and of the dreamer Merlin and his prophecies, and of a dragon, and a finless fish, a clip-winged griffin, and a molten raven, a couching lion, and a ramping cat, and such a deal of skimble-scamble stuff as puts me from my faith. I tell you what, he held me here last night 9 hours in summoning up the several devils' names that were his lackeys. I cried, and well, go to, and marked him not a word. Oh, he is as tedious as a tired horse, a wailing wife, worse than a smoky house. I'd rather live with cheese and garlic in a windmill, far, than feed on cakes and have him talk to me in any summer house in Christendom.
In faith, he is a worthy gentleman, exceedingly well read, and profited in strange concealments, as valiant as a lion and wondrous affable, and as bountiful as mine India. Shall I tell you, Cubs? He holds your temper in a high respect, and curbs himself even of his natural scope, where you come across his humor. Faith he does. I warrant you, that man is not alive, might so have tempted him as you have done, without the taste and danger of reproof. But do not use it oft. I will entreat you.
In faith, my lord, you are too willful, blame, and since your coming hither have done enough to put him quite besides his patience. You must needs learn, Lord, to amend this fault. Though sometimes show courage, greatness, blood, and that's the dearest grace it renders you. Yet oftentimes it doth present harsh rage, defect of manners, want of government, pride, haughtiness, opinion and disdain, the least of which, haunting a nobleman, loseth men's hearts and leaves behind a stain upon the beauty of all parts besides, beguiling them of commendation.
Well, I am schooled. Good manners be your speed. Here comes our wives. Let's take our leave.
This is the deadly spite that angers me. My wife can speak no English. I know Welsh.
My daughter weeps. She'll not part with you. She'll be a soldier too. She'll to the wars.
Father, tell her that she and my Lady Percy shall follow in your conduct speedily.
Reidate Vindenvern. No, mira fifen had.
Reidate Vindenvern, tas velo bemerka gluitis persi or kimbo here.
Mia herialki, miam descaso quinta.
She's desperate here, a peevish, self-willed harlotry, one that no persuasion can do good upon.
Lui negarizi fecalias. I understand thy looks. In that pretty Welsh which thou pourest from these swelling heavens, I am too perfect in. And but for shame in such a pun should I answer thee. Ni wahan miti mego. Disanti. I understand now mine, and that's a feeling disputation. But I shall never be true in love till I have learned thy language. Thy tongue makes both as sweet as ditties I pen, sung by a fairy queen in a summer's bower, with ravishing division to the lute.
Nay, if you melt, then will she run mad?
Gorweta idarat ben advarfera, miagana ganafe, gana vostra dinquiar.
I am ignorance itself in this.
She bids you on the wanton rushes lay you down, and rest your gentle head upon her lap, and she will sing the song that pleaseth you, and on your eyelids crown the god of sleep, charming your blood with a pleasing heaviness, making such difference twixt wake and sleep as is the difference twixt night and day. The hour before the heavenly harness team begins his golden progress in the east.
With all my heart I'll sit and hear her sing.
Do so, and those musicians that shall play to you hang in the air 1,000 leagues from hence, and straight they shall be here. Sit and attend.
Oh. Kate! Thou art perfect at lying down. Come! Quick, quick, that I may lay my head on your lap. Go, ye giddy goose.
I perceive the devil understands motion. 'Tis no marvel he is so humorous. By your lady, he is a good musician. Then should you be nothing but musical? Whoa, never thought it by humorous. Lie still, ye thieves, and hear the lady sing well. I'd rather hear, lady, my broth howl in Irish.
Wouldst thou have thy head broken?
No.
Then be still.
Neither, 'tis a woman's fault. God help thee. To the Welsh lady's bed.
What's that? Peace.
Come, Kate. I'll have your song too.
Not mine, good sooth.
Not yours in good sooth. Heart, you swear like a comfit maker's wife. Not yours in good sooth, and as true as I live. Come. Kate, swear me as the woman as thou art, a good mouth-filling oath. Leave in sooth in such protest of pepper gingerbread to velvet guards and Sunday citizens. Come, sing.
I will not sing.
And the indentures be drawn all away within these 2 hours, and so come in where you will.
Come, come, Lord Mortimer. You were as slow as hot Lord Percy is on fire to go. By this our book is drawn. We'll but seal and then to horse immediately.
not. Whether God will have it so for some displeasing service I have done, that in his secret doom out of my blood he'll breed revengement and a scourge for me. But thou dost, in thy passage of life, make me think that thou art only marked for the hot vengeance and rod of heaven to punish Martin's treadings. Tell me else, could such inordinate and low desires, such poor, such bare, such rude, such mean attempts, barren pleasures, brute society as thou art, meshed with all and grafted to, accompany the greatness of thy blood, and hold their level with thy princely heart.
So please, your majesty, I could quit all offenses with as clear excuse as well as I am doubtless I can purge myself of many I am charged with all. It's such extenuation. Let me beg, as in reproof of many tales devised, which oft the ears of greatness needs must hear from smiling pickthanks and base newsmongers. I have for some things true, wherein my youth have faulty, wandered, and irregular. Find pardon of my true submission.
God pardon thee. Yet let me wonder, Harry, at thy affections, which do wing quite from the flight of all thy ancestors. Thy place in council thou hast rudely lost, which by the younger brother is supplied. And thou art almost an alien to all the court and princes of my blood. The hope and expectation of thy time is ruined. The soul of every man prophetically do forethink thy fall. Had I so lavish of my presence been, so common hackneyed in the eyes of men, opinion that did help me to the throne had still kept loyal to possession and left me in reputeless banishment. But by being seldom seen, I could not stir, but like a comet I was wondered at. That men would tell their children, this is he. Others would say, where? Which is Bolingbroke? And then I stole all courtesy from heaven, and dressed myself in such humility that I did pluck allegiance from men's hearts. Loud shouts and salutations from their mouths, even in the presence of the crowned king. Thus did I keep my person fresh and new. My presence, like a robe pontifical, ne'er seen but wondered at. And so my state, seldom but sumptuous, shone like a feast, and won by rareness such solemnity. The skipping king, he ambled up and down with shallow gestures and rash baben wits, soon kindled and soon burnt, carded his state, mingled his royalty with capering fools, had his great name profaned with their scorns, grew a companion to the common streets, and balked himself in popularity that when he had the occasion to be seen, he was as the cuckoo is in June, heard, not regarded, seen, but with such eyes as sick and blunted with community afford no extraordinary gaze, such as is bent on sun-like majesty, when it shines seldom in admiring eyes, but rather drowsed and hung their eyelids down, slept in his face, and rendered such aspect as cloudy men use to their adversaries, being with his presence desired to see thee more. Which now doth that I would not have it do. May it blind itself with foolish tenderness.
I will hereafter, my thrice gracious Lord, be more myself.
For all the world as thou art to this hour was richer than when I set foot from France at Ravenspoor. And even as I was then is Percy now. Now, by my scepter, by my soul to boot, he hath more worthy interest in the state than thou, the shadow of succession. For of no right, no color like to right, he doth fill the field with harness in the realm. Thrice hath this Hotspur, this Mars and swaddling clothes, this infant warrior, discomfited the great Douglas, taken him once, enlarged him, and made a friend of him, to fill the mouth of deep defiance up and shake the very peace and safety of our throne. What say you to this? Percy, Northumberland, the Archbishop's Grace of York, Douglas, Mortimer, capitulate against us and are up. But wherefore do I tell these news to thee? Why, Mary, do I tell thee of my foes, which art my nearest and dearest enemy? Thou, that art like enough to vassal fear, base inclination, and the start of sleep, to fight against me under Percy's pay, to dog at his heels, and curtsy at his frowns, to show how much thou art degenerate!
Do not think so! You shall not find it so! God forgive them that so much as sway your majesty's good thoughts away from me! I will redeem all this one day on Percy's head, and in the closing of some glorious day be moved to tell you that I am your son! When I will wear a garment all of blood, and stain my favors in a bloody mask, which washed away shall scour my shame with it. And that shall be the day when errant lights of the same child of honor and renown, this gallant Hotspur, this all-praised knight, and your unthought of Harry, chance to meet. For every honor sitting on his helm, would there were multitudes on my head, my shames redoubled. Percy is but my factor, good my lord, to engross of glorious deeds on my behalf, and I will call him to so strict account that he shall render every glory up, yea, even the slightest worship of his time, else I will tear the reckoning from his heart, and this in the name of God I promise here, which, if he be pleased, I shall perform, and I do beseech your majesty may solve the long-grown wounds of my intemperance. If not, the end of life cancels all bands, and I will die 100,000 deaths ere I break the smallest parcel of this vow.
100,000 rebels die in this. Thou shalt have sovereign charge and trust herein. How now, blood fellows, we're full of speed.
So I have the business that I come to speak of. Lord Mortimer of Scotland has sent word that Douglas and the English rebels met the 11th of this month at Shrewsbury. A mighty and a fearful head are they, and promises be kept on every hand, as ever offered foul play in the state.
My lord of Westmoreland set forth today with him my son, Lord John of Lancaster, for this advertisement is 5 days old. Harry, on Wednesday next you shall set forth. On Thursday we ourselves will march. Our meeting place is Bridgenorth. Our hands are full of business. Let's away. Advantage feeds him fat while men delay.
dwindle? Why, my skin hangs about me like an old lady's loose gown. I'm withered like an old apple, John. We'll all repent, and then suddenly, while I am in some liking, I should be out of heart shortly and have no strength to repent. I've not forgotten what the inside of a church is made of. I'm a brewer's horse or a peppercorn. The inside of a church! Company villainous company, I've been the spoil of me.
Sir John, you are so fretful you cannot live long.
Why, there it is. Come, make me merry, sing me a body song.
She's a poker through and through. She's a top-sort, so they say.
I was as virtuously given as any gentleman need to be. Virtuous enough. Swore a little. Died not above 7 times a week. Went to a body house not above once in a quarter of an hour. Paid money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times. Lived well and in good compass. No, it's out of all order, out of all compass.
Why, you are so fat, Sir John. You must needs be out of all compass, out of all reasonable compass, Sir John.
Do thou amend thy face, and I'll amend my life. Thou art our admiral. Thou bearest the lantern in the poop, but 'tis in the nose of thee. Thou art the knight of the burning lamp.
Sir John, my face does you no harm.
Oh, be sworn. I never look on thy face, but I think of hellfire. And rub the lips in purple, for there is in his dives. Burn! Burning! Ah. If thou art any way given over to virtue, my oath should be, by this light, that's passing. But thou art altogether given over. Were not for the light in thy face, the sun of utter darkness. I could have bought lights as cheap as the best chandlers in Europe for all the sap thou hast drunkest me. I have maintained that salamander of yours these 32 years. God reward me for it.
Split I with my face for in your belly.
Oh, then I should be heartburned. How now, Dame Tartlet the hen? Have you inquired yet who picked my pocket?
What do you think, Sir John? Do you think I keep thieves in my house, Sir John? I have asked, I have inquired, so has my husband. Man by man, boy by boy, servant by servant. It was never the type of hair less in my house.
You lie, hostess. Bardolph will shave many a hair. And I'll be sworn my pocket was picked. Now go to your wooden go.
Why, no, I defy you. God's light, I was never called so in my own house before.
Oh, go to, I know you well enough.
You do not know me, Sir John. But I know you, Sir John. You own the money, Sir John. And now you pick a quarrel to beguile me of it. I have bought you a dozen of shirts to your back.
And I have given them all to bakers' wives. They have made bolters of
You
them.
owe money here besides, Sir John, for your diet. You buy drinking. And money lent you £4 and £20.
Oh, he hath part of it. Let him pay.
He's poor, he hath nothing.
Oh, what call you rich? Look at his face. Let them coin his cheeks. Let them coin his nose. No, all my pay is in the air. What? Will you make a younker of me? Shall I not take my knees in mine own in, but have my pocket picked? I have lost the seal ring of my grandfather's worth 40 more.
I've heard the prince tell him I know not how often that ring was copied.
Oh, Splud, the prince is a jack, a sneak up in here. I have cut him like a dog. Oh, how now? How must be on march?
I too
truth. No more truth in thee than in a drawn fox. And as for womanhood, Maid Marian may be the deputy's wife of the ward to thee. Go, you thing, go.
Say what thing? What thing?
What thing? What thing to thank God on?
I am no thing to thank God on, and well you should know it. I am an honest man's wife, and setting thy knighthood aside, thou art a knave to say so.
And setting thy womanhood aside, thou art a beast to say otherwise.
What beast thou, knave, thou?
What beast? Why? An otter.
An otter, Sir John. Why an otter?
She's neither fish nor flesh. A man knows not where to have her.
Thou or any man knows well where to have me. Thou sayest true, hostess, and he slanders thee most grossly. So he doth you, my lord, and said this other day, you owed him 1,000 pounds. Sirrah, do I owe you 1,000 pounds?
1,000 pounds? A million. Thou owest me that love. That love is like a million.
Nay, my lord, he called you Jack, and said he would cudgel you.
Did I borrow?
Indeed you did, Sir John.
Yea, I said if he said my ring were copper.
I say 'tis copper. Darest thou be as good as thy word now?
How thou knowest as thou art but man, I dare, but as thou art prince, I fear thee as I fear the roaring of the lion as well.
And why not as the lion?
The king himself is to be feared as the lion. Thinkest thou I should fear thee as I fear thy father? Nay, I pray God my girdle.
Pray, ho, if it should, how would thy guts fall about thy knees? Poor Sirrah, there is no room for faith, truth, nor honesty in this bosom of thine. It is all filled up with guts and misery. Charge an honest woman with picking thy pocket. Why, thou whoreson, impudent and false rascal, if there were anything in thy pocket other than tavern reckonings, memorandums of boarding houses, and 1 4-penny worth of sugar candy to make thee long-winded, if thy pocket were enriched with any other injuries as these, I am the villain. And yet you will stand to it, you will not pocket up wrong. Art thou not ashamed?
Thou knowest, in the state of infancy, Adam fell. Poor Jack Falstaff through the days of Billy. Thou seemst to have more flesh about me than another man, and therefore more friend. You confess then you picked my pocket.
No, it appears so, that story.
Hostess, I forgive thee. Love thy husband, look to thy guests, cherish thy servants. Thou shalt find me tractable to any honest treatment. I prithee be gone. How? The name of the court, how was that robbery answered?
Oh, my sweet thief, I must still be good angel to thee. The money is paid back again.
Oh, you don't like that paying back. It's a double labor.
Oh, I am friends with my father and may do anything.
Brought me the exchequer at once and do with unwashed hands.
Do, my lord. I have procured thee, Jack, a charge of foot.
Oh, I would have been a horse. Oh, where shall I find one that can steal well? Oh, for a fine young thief of 22 or thereabouts. I'm heinously unprovided. Well, God thank these rebels, they offend none but the virtuous. I praise them, I laud them.
Bardolph, go bear this letter to Lord John of Lancaster, to my brother John, and this to my Lord of Westmoreland. Go, Peter, to horse, for thou and I have 30 miles to ride, yet there dinner time. Jack, meet me tomorrow at Temple Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There shalt thou know thy charge, and there receive money in order for the furniture. The land is burning. Percy stands on high, and either we or they must
age were not thought flattery, such attribution should the Douglas have, as a soldier of this season's stamp should go so general current through the world. By God, I cannot flatter. I do defy the tongues of soothers. But a braver place in my heart's love hath no man than yourself. Nay, task me to my word, approve me, Lord.
Thou art the king of honor. No man so potent breathes upon the ground, but I will fear.
Do so, it is well. What letters hast thou there?
These letters come from your father.
Letters from him. Why comes not he himself?
He cannot come, my lord. He is grievous sick.
Zounds, how has he the leisure to be sick in such a jostling time? Who leads his power? Under whose government come they
His
along?
letters rest mine, not I, my lord.
I prithee tell me, doth he keep his bed?
He did, my lord. 4 days ere I sent for. And at the time of my departure thence, he was much feared by his physicians.
Would the state of time have first been whole ere he by sickness had been visited? His health was never better than now. Sick now! Droop now! This sickness doth infect the very lifeblood of our enterprise. 'Tis catching hither, even to our camp. He writes me here that inward sickness, and that his friends by deputation could not so soon be drawn. Nor did he think it meet to lay so dangerous and dear a trust on any soul removed but on his own. Yet, he doth give us bold advertisement that with our small conjunction we should on to see how fortune is disposed to us. For as he writes, there is no quailing now because the king is certainly possessed of all our purposes. What say you to it? Your father's illness submitting to us. Perilous gash, very limb lopped off. And yet, in faith, it is not. Were it good to set the exact wealth of all our states all at one cast, to set so rich a main on the nice hazard of one doubtful power? It were not good, for therein should we read the very bottom and the soul of hope, the very list, the very utmost bound of all our fortune.
Faith, and so we should. Where now remains a sweet reversion, we may boldly spend upon the hope of what is to come in. A comfort of retirement,
A rendezvous, a home to fly into, if that the devil and mischance look big upon the maidenhead of our affairs. But yet, I would your father had been here. The quality and hair of our attempt brooks no division. It will be thought by some that know not why he is away that wisdom, loyalty, and mere dislike of our proceeding hath here over hence. And think how such an apprehension may turn the tide of fearful faction, and breed a kind of question in our cause. For well you know, we of the offering side must keep aloof from strict arbitrament, and stop all sight holes, every loop from whence the eye of reason may pry in upon us. This absence of your father's draws a curtain that shows the ignorant a kind of fear before not dreamt of. You strain too far. I rather of his absence make this use. It lends a luster and more great opinion to our great enterprise than if the Earl were here. For men must think, if we without his help can make ahead to push against a kingdom, with his help, we will o'erturn it topsy-turvy down, yet all goes well, yet all our joints are whole.
as heart can think. There is not such a word spoke of in Scotland as this term of fear.
Cousin Vernon, welcome by my soul.
Pray God my news be worth the welcome, Lord. The Earl of Westmoreland, 7,000 strong, is marching hitherwards, with him Prince John.
No harm. What more?
And further I have learned the king himself in person is set forth, or hitherwards intended speedily with strong and mighty preparation.
He shall be welcome too. Where is his son, the nimble-footed madcap Prince of Wales, that doffed the world aside and bid it pass?
All furnished, all in arms, all plumed like ostriches that with the wind baited like eagles having lately bathed, glittering in golden coats like images, as full of spirit as the month of May, gorgeous as the sun of midsummer, wanton as youthful goats, wild as young bulls. I saw young Harry with his beaver on, his cuisses on his thighs, gallantly armed, rise from the ground like feathered Mercury, and vaulted with such ease into his saddle as if an angel dropped down from the clouds to turn and wind a fiery Pegasus and witch the world with noble horsemanship.
No more! No more! Worse than the sun in March, this praise doth nourish agues. Let them come. They come like sacrifices in their trim, and to the fire-eyed maid of smoky war, all hot and bleeding, we will offer them.
The mailed Mars shall on his altar sit, up to the ears in blood. I am on fire to hear this rich reprisal is so nigh, and yet not ours. Come, let me taste my horse who is to bear me like a thunderbolt against the bosom of the Prince of Wales. Harry to Harry shall, hot horse to horse, meet and ne'er part, till one drop down the course. Oh, that Glendower were come!
There is more news. I learned in Worcester as I rode along, he cannot draw his power these 14 days.
The worst tidings that I heard of yet.
I by my faith that bears a frosty sound. What may the king's whole battle reach unto?
To 30,000.
40 let it be. My father and Glendower being both away, the powers of us serve so great a day. Come, let us take a muster speedily. Doomsday is near. Die all. Die merrily.
Talk not of dying, for I am out of fear of death or death's hand this 1/2 year. She's a hooker through and through. He's a tosser, so they say. He'll never go to heaven. He'll go the other way. Marta, we'll march through. Fill me up, bottle of sack, with the sun cold.
Will you give me money, Captain?
Lay out, lay out!
This bottle makes an angel.
And if it do, take it for thy labor, and if it make 20, take them all. Go with Lieutenant Pato, meet me at the town's end.
I will, Captain. Very well.
Farewell.
She's a hooker through and through. She's a tosser, so they say.
If I be not ashamed of my soldiers, and I am a soused grunt. I have misused the king's press deadly. I have got an exchange of 150 soldiers, 300 and odd pounds. I press me none but yeomen's sons, inquire me out contracted bachelors, such a commodity of warm slaves as has liquor the devil as a drum. I press me none but such toast and butters with hearts in their bellies no bigger than a pin's head. And they have their services, so that my charge consists of ancients, corporals, lieutenants, gentlemen of companies, slaves as ragged as Lazarus in the painted cloth where the glutton's dog did lick his sores. Such as indeed were never soldiers, but discarded unjust servingmen, younger sons to younger brothers, revolted tapsters, ostlers, trade fathers, the commodities of a long world of commerce. A mad fellow met me on the way. He told me I had unloaded all the gibbets and pressed the dead bodies. No eye had seen such scarecrows. Well, I'll not march with them, that's flat. Most of them walk as if they had gyves on, for indeed I have most of them out of prison. And there's not a shirt and a half in my company, but it is 2 napkins tacked together and thrown over the shoulder like a herald's coat. And that got from my innkeeper at Albany or my host at Daventry. That's all for one. They'll find linen enough on every hedge. Now, who comes here? How now, Blown Jack?
How now, Quilt?
How now, mad wag, what the devil dost thou work to? Ooh, mother of Westerner. I cry you mercy. I thought you had been at Shrewsbury.
In faith, Sir John, 'tis more than time that I were there. And you too. For my powers are there already. The king, I can tell you, looks for us all. We must away all night.
Not never fear me. I'm as vigilant as a cat to steal cream.
I think to steal cream indeed, for my theft have already made me buttered. But tell me, Jack, whose fellows are these that come out?
Mine have, mine.
I never did see such pitiful rascals.
Oh, tough man. Food for powder, food for powder. They'll fill a pit as well as better. Tush man, mortal men. Mortal men. Oh.
Aye, but Sir John, methinks they are exceeding poor and bare, too beggarly.
As for their poverty, I know not where they learned that. And for their barrenness, I'm sure they never had that of me.
Oh, no, I'll be sworn, unless you call 3 fingers in the woods bare. But, sirrah, make haste. Percy's already in the field.
Is the king in camp?
In faith he is. I fear we shall stay too long.
Well, to the end of a fray, the beginning of a feast. If it's a dull fighter, yes.
We'll fight with him tonight.
It may not be. You give him an advantage.
Why say you so? Looks he not for supply?
So do we.
His is certain, ours is doubtful.
Good cousin, be advised. Stir not tonight.
Do not, my lord. Do not counsel well. Speak out a fair and cold heart. Do we no slander, doubtless. By my life, and I dare will maintain it with my life. I hold as little counsel with weak fear as you, my lord. Earnest Scott that this day lives. Let it be seen tomorrow in the battle which of us fears. Tonight!
Tonight, say I.
Come, come! I wonder much, being men of such great leading as you are, that you foresee not what impediments drag back our expedition. Certain horse of my cousin Vernon's are not yet come up. Your uncle Worcester's horse came but today, and now their pride and mettle is asleep. Their courage with hard labor, tame and dull, so not a horse is the half of himself.
So are the horses of the enemy in general jury baited and brought low. The better part of ours are full of wreck.
The number of the king exceedeth our. For God's sake, cousin, stay till all come in.
I come with gracious offers from the king, if you vouchsafe me hearing and respect.
Welcome, Sir Walter Blunt. And would to God you are of our determination. Some of us love you well, and even though some envy your great deserving and good name, because you are not of our quality, but stand against us like an enemy.
God defend, but still I should stand so. So long as out of limit and true rule you stand against anointed majesty. But to my charge, the king hath sent to know the nature of your griefs, and whereupon you conjure from the breast of civil peace such bold hostility, teaching his duteous men audacious cruelty. If that the king have any way your good deserts forgot, which he confesseth to be manifold, he bids you name your griefs, and with all speed you shall have your desires with interest, and pardon absolute for yourself, and these herein misled by your suggestion.
The king is kind, and well we know the king knows at what time to promise, when to pay. My father, my uncle, and myself did give him that same royalty he wears. And when he was not but 26 strong, sick in the world's regard, a poor unminded outlaw sneaking home, my father gave him welcome to the shore. And when he heard him vow and swear to God, he came but to be Duke of Lancaster. My father, in kind heart and pity moved, swore him assistance, and performed it too.
I came not to hear this.
Then to the point. In short time after he deposed the king, soon after that deprived him of his life. In the neck of that, taxed the whole state. To make that worse, suffered his kinsman March, who is, if every honor were well placed, indeed his king. To be engaged in Wales, there without ransom till I forfeited, disgraced me in my happy victory, sought to entrap me by intelligence, broke oath on oath, committed wrong on wrong, and in conclusion, drove us to seek out this head of safety, and withal to pry into his title, the which we find too indirect for long continuance.
Shall I then return this answer to the king?
Not so, Sir Walter. We'll withdraw a while. Go to the king and let upon some surety for a safe return again. And in the morning early will mine uncle bring him our purposes. And so farewell.
And would you accept of grace and love?
And maybe so we shall.
And God you do. How bloodily the sun begins to peer above yon bosky hill. The day looks pale at his distemperature.
The southern wind doth play the trumpet to his purposes. By his hollow whistling of the leaves foretells a tempest and blustering day.
Then with the losers let it sympathize. For nothing can seem foul to those that win. And now, my lord Inquisitor, it is not well that you and I should meet on such terms as now we meet. You have deceived our trust, and made us doff our easy robes of peace to crush our old limbs in ungentle steel. This is not well, my lord. This is not well. What say you to this? Will you again unknit this churlish knot of all abhorred war, and move again that obedient orb, where you did give a fair and natural light, and be no more an exhaled meteor, a prodigy of fear and portent of broached mischief to the unborn times?
Hear me, my liege. For mine own part, I would be well content to entertain the lag end of my life with quiet hours. For I protest, I have not sought the day of this dislike.
You have not sought it. How comes it then?
Rebellion lay in his way, and he found it.
Peace to it. Peace.
It pleased your majesty to turn your looks of favor from myself and all our house. But yet I must remember you, my lord. We were the first and dearest of your friends. For you my staff of office did I break in Richard's time, and posted day and night to meet you on the way and kiss your hand, when you were yet in place and in account nothing so strong and fortunate as I. It was myself, my brother and his son, that brought you home and boldly did outdare the dangers of the time. You swore to us, and you did swear that oath at Doncaster that you did nothing purpose against the state, nor look no further than your new-fallen right, the seat of Gaunt, dukedom of Lancaster. To this we swore our aid. But in short space it rained down fortune showering on your head, and such a flood of fortune fell on you. What with our help, what with the absent king, what with the injuries of a wanted time, the seeming sufferances that you had borne, you took occasion to be quickly wooed, to grip the general sway into your hand, forgot your oath to us at Doncaster. And being fed by us, you used us so as that ungentle gull the cuckoo's bird useth the sparrow. Did oppress our nest, grew by our feeding to so great a bulk that even our love durst not come near your sight for fear of swallowing. But with nimble wings, we were enforced for safety's sake to fly out of your sight, and raise this present head, whereby we stand opposed by such means as you yourself have forged against yourself, by unkind usage, dangerous countenance, and violation of all faith and troth sworn to us in your younger enterprise.
These things indeed you have articulate, proclaimed at market crosses, read in churches, to face the garment of rebellion with some fine color that doth please the eye of fickle changelings and poor miscontents. Yet never did insurrection want such watercolors to paint his cause, nor moody beggars, starving for a time of pell-mell havoc and confusion.
In both your armies, there is many a soul shall pay full dearly for this encounter if once they join in triumph.
Tell your nephew, Prince of Wales doth join with all the world in praise of Harry Percy. By my hopes this present enterprise set off his head. I do not think a braver gentleman, more apt to valiant or more valiant young, more daring or more bold, is now alive to grace this latter age of noble deeds. For my part, I may speak it to my shame. I have a true intimate chivalry, and so I hear he doth account me too. Yet this, before my father's majesty, I am content that he shall take the odds of his great name and estimation, and will, to save the blood on either side, try fortune with him in a single fight.
And Prince of Wales, so dare we venture thee, albeit considerations infinite do make against it.
No. Good Worcester, no. We love our people well. Even those we love that are misled upon your cousin's part. But will they take the offer of our grace, both he and they and you? Yea, every man shall be my friend again, and I'll be his. So inform your cousin, and send me word what he will do. But if he will not yield, rebuke and dread correction wait on us, and they will do their office, so be gone. We will not now be troubled with reply. We offer fair, take it advisedly. It will not be accepted on my life. The Douglas and the Hotspur, both together, are confident against the world in arms.
Therefore every leader to his charge, for on their answer we will set on them. And God befriend us as our cause is just.
Now, thou seest me down in the field, bestride me. Point of friendship.
Nothing but a colossus can do thee that friendship. Say thy prayers. Farewell.
I wish for bedtime, Hal, if all is well.
Why thou owest God a debt.
'Tis not due yet. I would be loath to pay him before his day. What need I be so forward with he that calls not on me? 'Tis no matter. Honor pricks me on. Yea, but how if honor prick me up when I do come on? What then? Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or take away the grief of a wound? Now, honor hath no skill in surgery then? Now, what is honor? A word. What is that word, honor? What is that honor? Air. A true reckoning. Who hath it? He that died on Wednesday. Doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. 'Tis insensible then, yea, to the dead. Ah, but will it not live with the living? Now, why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore, I'll none of it. Honor's a mere scutcheon. So ends my catechism.
the generous and kind offer of the king.
To our best he did.
Then are we all undone?
It is not possible. It cannot be the king should keep his word in loving us. He will suspect us still and seek a time to punish this offense in other faults. Suspicion all our lives shall be stuck full of eyes, for treason is but trusted like the fox. Look how we can, or sad or merrily, interpretation will misquote our looks, and we will feed like oxen at the stall, the better cherished still the nearer death. My nephew's trespass may be well forgot. It hath the excuse of youth and heat of blood, and an adopted name of privilege, a harebrained Hotspur governed by a spleen. All his offenses rest upon my head and on his father's. We did train him on, and his corruption being taken from us, we as the root of all shall pay for all. Therefore, good cousin, let not Harry know in any case the honor of the king.
Deliver what you will. I'll say 'tis so. Here, come.
My uncle's returned. Deliver up my lord of Westmoreland. Uncle, what news? The king will bid you battle presently.
Fine, my lord of Westmoreland.
Lord Douglas, go you and tell him so.
Marry and Shelley very willingly.
There is no seeming mercy in the king. Did you beg any? Forbid. I told him gently of our grievances, of his oath breaking, which he mended thus, by thus forswearing that he has forsworn. He calls us rebels, traitors, and will scourge with haughty arms this hateful name in us.
Arms, gentlemen, to arms! Cry for brave defiance in King Henry's teeth.
The Prince of Wales stepped forth before the king and nephew challenged you to single fight. Oh, would the quarrel lay upon our heads, and so that no man might draw a short breath today, but I and Harry Munn. Tell me, how short is tasking? Seem it in contempt.
No. By my soul, never in my life did I hear a challenge urged more modestly. Unless a brother should a brother dare to gentle exercise and proof of arms, nay. He gave you all the duties of a man and trimmed up your praises with a princely tongue, and, which became him like a prince indeed, made a blushing sidle of himself, as if he mastered there a double spirit of teaching and learning instantly. But there did he pause. Let me tell the world, if he outlived the envy of this day, England did never owe so sweet a hope, so much misconstrued in his wantonness.
Cousin, I think thou art enamored on his follies. Never did I hear of any prince so wild a liberty. But be he as he will, yet once ere night, I will embrace him with a soldier's arm that he will shrink under my courtesy. Arm with speed. And fellows, soldiers, friends, better consider what you have to do than I, that have not well the gift of tongue, can lift your blood up with persuasion.
My lord, here are letters for you.
I cannot read them now. Oh, gentlemen, the time of life is short. To spend that shortness basely were too long, if life did ride upon a dial's point, still ending upon the arrival of an hour. And if we live to tread on kings. If die, brave death. When princes die with us. Now for our consciences. The arms are fair when the intent of bearing them is
My
just.
nose prepared, the king comes out of pace.
I thank him that he cuts me from my tail, for I profess not talking. Only this. Let each man do his best. And here draw I a sword whose temper I intend to stain, with the best blood I can meet withal on the adventure of this perilous day. Now, Esperance, Percy, and set on. Sound all the lofty instruments of war, and by that music, let us all embrace, for heaven to earth. Some of us never shall a second time do such a courtesy. Esperance! Esperance!
here today hath fought thy likeness. Instead of thee, King Harry, this stave hath ended him. So shall it be, unless thou yieldst thee as my prisoner.
I was not born in yield to thou proud Scot, and thou shalt find a king that will revenge Lord Steven's death!
Oh, Douglas, hast thou fallen holden thus? I never triumphed upon a Scot. All's done, all's won. Here breathless lies the king. Where? Here. This Douglas. No. I know his face full well. A gallant knight he was. His name was Blunt, seemingly furnished like the king himself. Fool, go in thy soul whither it goes. Borrowed title thou hast bought too dear. Why didst thou tell me that thou wert a king? The king hath many marching in his coats. Now by my sword, I'll kill all his coats. I'll murder all his wardrobe piece by piece until I meet the king. Up and away. Our soldiers stand full fairly for the day.
Oh, I still shot fear London. I fear the shot here. There's no scoring it upon the paper.
Sir Walter Blunt, there's honor for you.
Here's no bandit. I'm as hot as molten lead. It is heavy too. God keep the lead out of me. I need no more weight than mine own bowels. I have let my ragamuffins where they are heavy. There's not 3 of my 115 left alive, and they are gone to the town's end to bed their life. Who comes here?
What? Standest thou idle here? Lend me thy sword. Many a nobleman lies stark and stiff under the hoofs of vaunting enemies, whose deaths are yet unrevenged. I prithee lend me thy sword.
Nay, Hal, give me leave to breathe a while.
Turk Gregory never did such deeds in arms as I have done this day.
I have paid Percy. I have made him sure.
He is indeed, and living to kill thee, I prithee, lend me thy sword.
Nay, Hal, the Percy be alive, thou get some my sword, but I take my fist with her.
Give it to me. What, is it in the case?
Aye, 'tis hot, 'tis hot. There's that no sack of city.
Is it a time to jest? Dally now.
Will Percy be alive? I'll pierce him. If not, I'll let him come my way. He can make a carbon out of me. Why not such grinning honor as Sir Walter had? Give me life, if I can say so. If not, honor comes unlooked for. There's an end.
I prithee, Harry, withdraw thyself, thou pleadest too much. Lord of the Lancaster, go you with him.
Not I, my lord, unless I decree to. I do beseech your majesty make up, lest your retirement injuries your friends.
I will do so. My Lord of Westmoreland, lead him to his tent.
Come, my lord, I'll lead you to the Lead me, my lord! I do not need your help. God forbid a shallow scratch should drive
state nobility lies trodden on, and rebels' arms triumph in massacres.
We breathe too long. Come, cousin Westmoreland, our duty this way lies. For God's sake, come!
My God, thou hast deceived me, Lancaster. I did not think thee lord of such a spirit. Before I loved thee as a brother, John, now I do respect thee as my soul.
I saw him hold Lord Percy at the point with lustier maidens that I didn't look for, such an unborn boy.
This boy lends metal to us all.
Another king? They grow like hydras' heads.
Douglas.
Fatal to all those that wear those colors on them. Not thou that counterfeits the person of a king.
The king himself, Douglas, grieves at heart, so many shadows thou hast lent, and not the very king. I have 2 boys, seek Percy and myself about the field, but seeing as thou fallest on me so luckily, I will save thee, and defend myself!
Fear thou art another counterfeit. Yet in faith thou bearest thee like a king. With mine I am sure thou art where thou be, and thus I win thee!
The spirits of valiant Shirley, Stafford, and Blunt are in my arms. It is the Prince of Wales who threatens thee, who never promises, but he means to pay. Surely, my lord, how fares your grace? Sir Nicholas Darcy hath for supper sent, and so hath Clifton, out of Clifton Street.
Stay and breathe a while. Thou hast redeemed thy lost opinion. Show'st thou make some tender of my life in this fair rescue thou hast brought me.
God. They did me too much injury that ever said I hearkened for your death. If it were so, I might have let alone the insulting hand of Douglas over you, which would have been as speedy as your end as all the poisonous potions in the world, and saved the treacherous labor of your son.
Make up the Clifton. Also Sir Nicholas Gossip.
If I mistake not, thou art Harry Monmouth.
Thou speakest as if I would deny my name.
My name is Harry Percy.
Why then I see a very valiant rebel of the name. I am the Prince of Wales. You think not, Percy, to share with me in glory anymore. 2 stars keep not their motion in one sphere, nor can one England brook a double reign of Harry Percy and the Prince of Wales.
Nor shall it, Harry, for the hour has come to end the one of us. And would to God thy name in arms were now as great as mine.
I'll make it greater ere I part from thee, and all thy budding honors on thy crest I'll crop to make a garland for my head.
I can no longer brook thy vanities.
Well, to it how? And you're coming
I can tell you.
Oh, Harry! Thou hast brought
heart. And weak ambition, how much art thou shrunk, and that this body did contain a spirit, a kingdom for it was too small a bound. But now, 2 paces of the vilest earth is room for none. This earth that bears thee dead bears not alive so stout a gentleman. If thou art sensible of zeal, should not make so dear, shall courtesy. Even in thine path, thank myself for doing these fair rites of tenderness. Adieu. Take thy praise with thee to heaven, and thy ignominy sleep with thee in the grave, to not remember in thy epitaph. Old acquaintance. Could not all this flesh keep in a little life? Poor Jack. Farewell. I could have better spared a better man. Death hath not struck such fat a deer today, though many dearer, in this bloody fray. To bowel will I see thee by and by. Till then in blood, noble person lie.
Bound? No, bound me today. Powder me and eat me to tomorrow. Look, 'twas time to count. Else that hot termagant Scott had paid me. Scott and lied too. I lie. I will count. To die is to be accounted for. For he's but the counterfeit of a man who hath not the life of a man. But to counterfeit die, where a man thereby liveth, is to be no counterfeit, but the true and perfect image of life indeed. The better part of valor is discretion, in which the better part I have used to save my life. Blood, I'm afraid of this gunpowder Percy, though he's dead. What if he too should counterfeit in her eyes? I fear he may prove the better counterfeit. Therefore I'll make sure, yea, and I'll swear I killed him too. Nothing confused me but mine eyes, and nobody sees me. Therefore, sirrah, the new wound in your thigh. Come you along with me.
Come, brother John. O bravely hast thou fetched thy faithful sword.
But soft. Over here. Did you not tell me this fat man was dead?
I did. I saw him dead, lifeless and bleeding on the ground. Art thou alive? Or is this fantasy that plays upon our eyesight? I prithee speak! We will not trust our eyes without our ears, thou art not what thou seest.
Nay, how? I'm no double man. But if I be not Jack Falstaff, then I am a Jack. I have killed Percy. If your father will do me any honor, so. If not, let him kill the next Percy himself. I look to be either Earl or Duke. I'm sure.
Why, Percy, I killed myself.
Lord, Lord, how the world is given to lying. I confess I was down and out, and so was he. But we both rose in an instant, and fought a long hour by the Shrewsbury clock. A man with a knife, let him bear the sin on his own shoulders. I gave him this wound in the thigh. If he would rise and deny me, I would make him eat a piece of my sword.
This is the strangest tale that ever I heard.
This is the strangest fellow, Brother John. Come, bear your luggage nobly on your back. For my part, if our lie may do thee credit, I'll gild it with the happiest terms I have. The trumpet sounds retreat. The day is ours. Come, Brother John, to the highest of the field, to see what friends are living and who are dead.
I'll follow, as they say, for reward. He that rewards me, God reward him. If I grow great, I'll grow less. So I'll purge and leave sap and live clean, as a nobleman should be.
Rebellion find rebuke. Ill-spirited Worcester, did we not send grace, pardon, and terms of love to all of you? And wouldst thou turn our offers contrary? Misuse the tenor of thy kinsman's trust. 3 knights upon our party are slain today. A noble earl and many a creature else had been alive this hour, if, like a Christian, thou hadst borne betwixt our armies true intelligence.
What I have done my safety urged me to, and I embraced this fortune patiently, since not to be avoided if possible.
Bear Worcester to the death. Vernon too. Other offenders we will pause upon. How goes the field?
The noble Scot, Lord Douglas, when he saw the fortune of the day, quite turned from him, with the noble Percy slain, and all his men upon the foot of fear fled with the rest. At my tent the Douglases, and I do beseech your majesty, I may dispose of him.
With all my heart.
Well then, Brother John of Lancaster, to you shall this honorable bounty belong. Go to the Douglas, and deliver him up to his pleasure, ransomless and free. His valor shown upon our crest today have taught us how to cherish such high deeds, even in the bosom of our adversaries.
I thank your grace for this high courtesy, which I shall give away immediately.
Then this remains, that we divide our power. You, my cousin Westmoreland, with you, my son, Lord John of Lancaster, bend you towards York with your dearest speed, to meet Northumberland and the prelate's group, who, as we hear, are busily in arms. Myself and you, son Harry, will towards Wales, to meet with Glendower and that Mortimer. Rebellion in this land shall lose its sway, meeting the check of such another day. And since this business so fair is done, let us not leave till all our own is won.